sure Robin does.
I'm sure Robin
Robin,
does.
if you're listening, it's your mission.
I'm just saying,
to do
like,
karaoke.
we stop. There's no way. I cut this off a long time ago. You can keep talking if you want to, but you don't know what I'm saying.
Oh, you didn't stop recording?
Well, just because it's on there doesn't mean it goes anywhere.
What? What's the point?
You're listening to the AV-IT Amplifier. Each week, we'll feature voices and ideas that need to be amplified in the higher education and pro-AV IT communities. This show is brought to you by higheredav.com. And now here's your host, Ryan Gray.
Well, hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in again to the AV-IT Amplifier. As always, I'm Ryan, I'm your host, yada, 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 and all the same stuff I say at the beginning every time. And we are back for week 2 with my friend, and now your friend, Rebecca Wade. Thank you for sticking around to talk again. We're going to pretend like we didn't just record last week's episode 2 minutes ago and pretend that this is a whole week later.
I'm also going to pretend that you haven't put a barrier at the top of the stairs to prevent me from leaving.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have to trap people up here on the top.
He's going to keep me here until I've done enough podcasts.
That's
and
right.
Then I can go home.
Content.
Yes!
Okay, so thank you for coming back. Would you please quickly remind everybody, who are you and what do you do?
Oh, I'm Rebecca, and I'm from Igloo Vision, the immersive space company.
All right, and do you consider yourself like you're of Igloo? You said I'm from Igloo. I'm sure you have other identities, other like human traits beyond being an Igloo Vision employee.
Just love my job very deeply.
Okay.
All day, every day.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming back. I know you don't know the level of the survey you're about to get here, so
yeah,
I'm sorry about that in advance.
PSA for anyone who does this in the future, who doesn't tell you what the questions are.
No, it's better when people don't know what the questions are.
Have you done it before where you've asked them, like you've sent them the questionnaire beforehand? Do they give you really rehearsed stuff?
Yeah.
But you just said no, you haven't done that.
No, I'm saying I never send people the questions
Get the story straight, right?
Because, yes, you get rehearsed answers, and that's not as interesting for people.
No, that's way fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine all the cool things I could say if I knew what I was going to say.
I know, but
now it's a mystery to everyone.
Exactly. Okay, you ready? Let's start here, because I think this is a very easy question for you and something I like to talk to guests about a ton, which is...
I am an Aquarius, yeah.
That had nothing to do with it, because astrology's not real, and it doesn't matter.
Okay, tell that to the moon, but...
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Do you talk to the moon? All right, we are already way off the rails. No, here's the thing, and distracted by the people walking up there. Okay, introvert or extrovert? You see what I'm saying? Like, couldn't be more of an extrovert. Could not be more of an extrovert, you.
Did you just ask for the sake of it?
No.
Yeah, so I'm actually... what would you call an introverted extrovert?
Okay.
Or possibly the other way around. I don't know. Extroverted introvert, maybe.
Okay.
So, yes, I love being out and about, and I love talking to people, and I love hanging out, and I love doing fun stuff. But I also will very happily sit in my apartment for 5 straight days. I actually I'm one of 2 employees that's fully remote at Igloo. So I moved to LA last summer for the fun of it, and I work remotely. I'm in my apartment. I didn't know anybody in America when I moved as well. So I moved 2 years. I've got friends now. But yeah,
I'm a friendly person. I made friends.
You can probably find one of them here.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, when I'm in the mood, let's do it. And then I am also very, very happy to just watch the whole of the Lord of the Rings extended edition in one sitting and just not talk to anyone, phone off, all of it.
And you don't get stir crazy. Do you eventually are like, all right, I got to get out. I got to feed off on other people's energy?
I never, ever feel like that. It's really weird. If I'm out, I'm like, yeah, woo, energy. But also if I'm inside, I'm just like, oh, this is so nice. I'm very big and I've got loads of hobbies. And when I'm out for too long, I get twitchy thinking about the fact that I'm not doing them. Okay. So I'm making a quilt right now. Well, I have all these band T-shirts because I love going to concerts and stuff, but they start to go a bit weird after a while. So I was like, I'll make a quilt, but I didn't know how to do it. But all I've been thinking about this week is it's nearly done. and I'm not finished. So when I get back, I'm going to take like 3 days off work and just sit in my apartment and finish it.
To making a quilt out of band T-shirts from concerts.
Yeah.
That
I'm cool.
is super millennial.
Isn't it? I didn't even know how to use a sewing machine. I had to
awesome,
buy
though.
one. It was just like crazy stuff. But yeah, definitely I would say extrovert, going back to your question. Yeah, it just works for me.
Well, I think nobody's all the way an extrovert or an introvert. But
I
it
don't know.
sounds
I
like,
know a few.
Yeah, well, that's true. But like, it sounds like you can derive energy from both. Like you can feed off other people's energy out and about, but also gain energy by doing stuff by yourself.
Love my own company.
That's like an omnivert.
It's a real mixed bag. You know where it came from actually is when I went to university, I moved to London and I didn't know anybody there either. But my major was in film. My degree was in film production and all that stuff. And I had one of those cinema membership cards where you can just go as many times as you want. And I lived in Wembley, and I lived next to, there's a big Cineworld, I think that's what it's called. And I would just go all day on the weekend and just watch all of the movies. And then in the evenings I would just go and just sit alone, bucket of popcorn in the dark, minding my own business. It's like therapy. It's really good.
That's awesome. So like then that's a cinephile, right? Somebody
big time, yeah. Okay. And I love watching films, and I got very used to my own company. I think I was like 18, and I also solo travel a lot. I go, I've been all around the world, and I just go on my own. So
interesting.
Yeah, quite happy with my own, but also quite happy hanging out with my friends.
There you go. Well, that's the best of both worlds, right there.
It is, yeah.
Okay, so and then, we'll go back to one of the things you mentioned, like. You didn't know anyone in America. You're just like, I'm moving to Los Angeles for the fun of it? Or did you target there?
Well, no. So I moved to New York first.
Okay.
But what happened was my boss was like, do you want to go to America? Because it's a very complicated sort of thing to navigate.
Yeah.
Immersive technology, knowing things about it, knowing what people need to know about it, etc., etc. And I've been at the company for 3 years at the time, and I think I was a good candidate for it, obviously. Otherwise, they wouldn't have offered it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he kind of offered. You met Theo, my boss.
Yeah.
He kind of was like, would you consider moving to America to go and work on the education business out there? And I was like, yeah, that sounds really fun. I love America. I've been a few times, and then my visa got approved, and I actually had to move, and I was like, I don't know anybody in America, and I didn't. I had to figure out how to get an apartment and stuff. Genuinely, most confusing thing ever. But yeah, no, I moved over for the company, got to work out of our Manhattan office for a while, and then my lease ended, and I was like, well, what am I going to do next? I'm being what was that?
It was a fly.
Is it in my mouth?
No.
Is it in my eye? Okay.
And it flew away.
It's fine. No, I don't mind bugs. It's just American bugs weird me out because I don't know what they're going to do.
Well, yeah, and Florida is the worst for bugs.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome. I did find a frog on the car yesterday.
Really?
It was. I'll show you a picture afterwards. It was really small. But yeah, no, I just was like, I'm just going to pack up and move somewhere that I've never been. So I rented a little Toyota from Alamo or whatever it was, and I drove coast to coast. I went straight across. It took me 6.5 days, and when I got to the Rockies, because I was coming through Utah and down into Arizona and then across, because I wanted to do Route 66.
Yeah.
And I didn't get any cell reception until I got to LA. So it was like a 3-day stretch where I only had the Twilight soundtrack downloaded. I didn't have anything else. I didn't have an audiobook. I didn't have a podcast. I had nothing except for and it was from the first movie. And have you seen the first Twilight movie? So the soundtrack is excellent.
Right.
But the 20th time you get to a supermassive black hole, I was in tears, honestly. But it was so cool. I got to see Grand Canyon and all that fun stuff. So yeah, I just kind of, and then my lease is going to end the end soon. So who knows where next?
So you're just like, when my lease ends, I'm packing up, I'm going to another town.
Well, I might do.
Nice.
I might stay. I've got a very nice apartment, got a dog. She's cute.
You got a dog?
Yeah, she's actually an English bulldog.
Well, that
and it wasn't by design.
On brand.
It wasn't deliberate. And then I actually rescued a dog very recently. He's very cute, very, very cute. 24/7 English bulldog. Got a problem.
Yeah.
I just like their faces.
Yeah.
So.
They're very scrunched up.
And they let you squish them. And it's really good. It's really
Nice.
good. Yeah, when I'm making my quilts, I'm like, yeah.
Nice. Well, it's so funny to be like, I moved to America, yada, 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 but you're speaking a British accent, you make quilts, and you have an English bulldog. So are you part of the royal family in succession in some way? Because it sounds like you're really trying to
could be.
to be British.
It's quite vast. I mean, you know that they're everywhere, right?
They are everywhere,
And there's
aren't they?
so, it's just crazy. The line of succession and stuff. And yeah, it's wacky. And you know what's really wild is I was actually in America the day the Queen died.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't live here yet, but I was in San Diego for an Igloo event.
Yeah.
And every time I opened my mouth, they were like, I am so sorry for your loss. And I was like, what loss? And then they were like, well, the Queen died. I was just like, oh, Queen died. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know, and it happened. I was there for a week, and every single time I opened my mouth, every single time, they were just like, I'm so sorry if you heard about the Queen. And by the end of the week, I'd gotten so over being like, oh, I was just like, thank you so much. Thank you. It's really hard for us. It's going to be fine. Like, just like, I don't know if they think I knew her or what, but yeah. It's,
yeah, it seems like Americans probably assume everyone there, like, actually is really worried about the royal family, and it seems like in Britain nobody's that worried about what they're doing.
No, it's a mix. It's a mix.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're fun. You know, it's quite cool. Put them on the notes and stuff, and they do nice. What's the word that I'm looking for? You know, go on the horses and they go outside. Parades.
They do good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's true. No one does a parade like a royal.
It's
right?
really good.
There you
know,
go.
it is really fun, and also it makes for really, really great drama. So it's always a vibe. But you know, there's that. Well, I wouldn't say it's an expression, but like we're always 3 degrees removed from everybody.
Somebody.
Yeah. So you know, could be.
It could
3
be.
degrees
All
from
right.
the royal family. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm
All
3
right.
degrees from George Clooney.
You're only 3 Okay.
Yeah.
Run it down.
So I lived in a flat in London. I had a roommate called Fraser.
Okay.
Fraser. It's not even 3 degrees. It's 2 degrees. He worked. He's an actor, and he was in George Clooney's. He did this film about these rowboat people.
Like crew.
Yeah, I can't remember what the film's called. Sorry, Fraser, if you end up listening to this ever. But yeah, he knows George Clooney.
There you
I'm
go.
like hanging out with him. It's just so weird. You know what's really weird is since I moved to LA, I've not seen a single celebrity.
Oh yeah,
They're everywhere. And then after I moved from New York, I go back for the Igloo Christmas party because that's where our office is,
Yeah.
and I see Tony Goldwyn.
Yeah.
I was livid. I was like, I didn't see a single celebrity when I lived in New York, and
Right.
I love celebrities. And I love celebrity gossip. It just is a really good way to, you know, like, just chill out for a bit. And then I moved to LA. I think I saw Jason Bateman once. But
Yeah.
that was a thing.
Good old
Oh
JB.
no! Do you know what? I did meet a celebrity in LA. I'm
Who's that?
lying. Tom Felton.
Who's Tom Felton?
He's from Harry Potter. He's
Oh,
English.
yeah. I know
So
who we're
he was
talking
actually.
about.
I was getting my flight home to London for Christmas. This was actually 2 years ago. I was in LA, just kind of hanging out, and he was behind me in the TSA queue. And
Nice.
you know, it's really sad. And I'm going to confess something. Sorry, everyone.
Go for it.
I had the biggest crush on him forever, because I grew up with Harry Potter, and
Yeah.
like, oh my god, and then I met him. He comes up to here on me, and I was like, oh, and you know when they say never meet your idols, but
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, and all of the things I had in my head of just, you know, I was like, maybe he's like 6'8", I don't know, but for anyone listening, I'm really tall. So
Yeah,
it's yeah,
Is this a challenge for you? Like, are you always kind of like,
gigantic.
well, just being tall, you know, and you're like, oh, well, he's too short. That's not going to work.
No, that's not how I operate.
Okay.
I don't really care. But it's just, you know, like
I know.
I'd spent a decade in my head being like, I'll marry Tom Felton one day, and then and you know what's really embarrassing is I text my mum before I got on the plane, and I was like, oh my god, Tom Felton on my plane, this is crazy. And she turns up to pick me up from the airport, and she got me his autobiography for Christmas. And she ambushed him as he got off the plane, and handed and like you could see in his face. And obviously, I tried to play it cool when I was like in TSA, and I was like, oh my god, like acting like I didn't know who he was. But I was like trying to be like all mysterious and stuff. So maybe he'd be like, oh my god, let's get married, as you do.
In the TSA line is usually where that happens.
I don't know who isn't expecting a proposal there, but. And then we went to baggage claim, and I was stood like nearby, and I was like, you know, doing that thing where you like try and make a little bit of eye contact, but not too much. And then my mum turns up, and she's so cute. She hates doing that kind of stuff, and she approached him, and she was like, "Will you sign this? My daughter loves you and wants to marry you." And I was literally like, "Oh my god!"
She's right there.
Oh,
it's that
my
one.
god.
That one right there.
Oh, it was so. And then you know, like the jig is up, and it's too late, and now he's definitely never going to marry me because I'm a creep.
I mean, did you talk to him?
Yeah.
And it didn't.
Well,
it didn't fly.
yeah, I was like trying to pretend like I didn't know who he was. You know, just a bit like, yeah. So, thanks, Mom. It was really sweet of her. It's a good book. Enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he was in like Borrowers and stuff, wasn't he?
I believe you on that. I don't know.
Have you ever seen The Borrowers?
No.
Do you watch films?
Not like you do, apparently.
I love films.
I know. Okay, so let's do this quick because one of my questions.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, you've got questions. You got questions.
Well, this whole thing has been the answer to introvert or extrovert. By the way, that is the only question that's been asked.
Question number one. Are you kidding me?
No.
Okay.
You have filibustered the entire thing.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. No, but one of my questions
you
is...
knew what you were getting into. You knew it when you were like, you want to come and do this.
But that's the best part about the second week is, you know, who's the person, what's the... So this is like
there's no questions about the tech.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Tech is fun, but it's not as fun as people. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of my questions is, if in the movie that gets made about your life, what's it called and who plays you?
Ooh. Wow. Oh, that is a question. Okay. Oh, I've never thought about this.
See?
Oh, I might have to come back to that one.
That's all right.
I might have to. It would be great if it was. Oh, no, it's not going to work. Maybe Mary Elizabeth Winstead, but she's American. I don't know if she can do an English accent. That's the only thing. Most people think this is fake, by the way.
Your accent?
All the time. I was in an Olive Garden with some of my friends, minding my business, eating my Alfredo and breadsticks, obviously, and I go to the bathroom and the waiter comes up and I'm like, is she practicing for something? And they're like, what? And it's like, the accent, it's kind of bad. Have you and I get back from the bathroom and they're all laughing. And I'm like, oh, what's happening? And they were like, the Olive Garden man just said that your English accent sounds really fake. I was like, I literally don't know what you want me to do. This is how to... So, and the drive-through,
Oh, no, I'm sure you can't order at a drive-thru.
I have to order an American.
Okay, so...
Yeah, because I can't... They don't understand what...
So give me your... You're in California. In-N-Out? You know?
Yeah.
What's your In-N-Out order in an American accent?
Okay, can I get a number 4? I like a double animal style with fries. Animal style. I grew up watching like Clueless and the Kardashians and stuff.
Perfect.
So it's very Valley Girl, and I can go very nasal with it. And most people, it's a party trick. Most people are like, "Oh my god, do your American accent," and then I'm like, "Oh my god," and then all of a sudden they're like, "Please stop! Don't ever do that again."
That. Yeah.
But yeah, usually, so I have to order the drive-through. I went to Dunkin' Donuts once, drive-through in Houston. It took 3 people to take my order, and then I was like, "Can I just get a number 4?" And then they were like, "Okay, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it." So it happens all the time.
That's funny. Well, if you could keep working on that accent, that would be we'd be appreciate it.
It gets worse. So it used to be really good to the point where I could convince English people I was American, and I could convince American people I was American.
Nice.
But since I moved to the States, it's a problem because I talk to so many people now from different places. All of those weird little like dialect things, they all feed in, and they've ruined it. So half the time I sound like I'm from Wisconsin, which is fine. But then I've got all these Texas words, and then I've got all these like LA things going on, and then New York, and so it used to be very, very clean cut Valley Girl,
right? And
now it's like, where the heck is she trying to be from? Because it's just not working.
Well, it's just a citizen of the world at that point.
I am a citizen of the world.
Nice.
Planet Earth. That's why I sign off all my when you send post to people, and then if I send it
mail.
internationally.
Here it's mail.
Sorry.
No.
You know, like when you send mail to people?
I don't even... You mean like on paper?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have pen pals.
Oh,
Do you
yeah?
know that? I actually have pen pals.
That's awesome.
Yeah, all of my American friends. So I have a few. There's one in Houston. I've got one in Ohio. And then I've got one in somewhere in the Midwest. I can't remember where. But we all write letters to each other.
That's
it's very
awesome.
sweet, yeah. I still have all of the UPS Christmas stamps. So they keep getting reindeer sent to them. I bought like a massive book of them. And it's just like, I didn't know how it worked. But yeah, I do pen and paper.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Whenever we send something, it has a Christmas stamp on it because the only time we ever buy stamps is to send Christmas cards.
Yeah.
So it's all Santa Claus all year round.
It's really good.
Yes.
What I do want is some really funky stamps, but every time, so because I travel a lot, so I do road trips all the time. I actually just drove the Pacific Coast Highway from Seattle to LA,
Nice.
which was super good, super good. Really good time of year. Rained the whole way. It was really fun. But like, tourist places don't do stamps. They do postcards,
Right.
but they don't do stamps. So you have to be prepared and carry your own stamps at all time.
There you go. Well,
That's just anyone who's needing life advice. It's just carry a stamp.
and that's where you got to from the question, what was the title of the movie of your life?
Oh, crikey.
You don't have to answer that if you don't want to. That's all right.
No, can we come back to it at the end? Because I just need. I don't want it to be a lame title because that would really suck.
Well, it's all right. We'll get it. We'll pick that one up next time.
Okay.
It's been almost half an hour now
On just that one question.
on this episode. That's all right. So here's the thing. Everyone gets the same last 3 questions.
Okay.
So
Let's speed round. Let's go.
Right.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
third to last question is, what is a question you wish people would ask you, but nobody ever asks?
Ooh. Wait. How long did it take you to think these up? Out of curiosity.
I'm a citizen of the world. They just come to me.
Okay. A question that I wish people would ask, but they don't.
Keep in mind, there's no wrong answer to this question.
No, people just ask me questions. I don't think there's a question that people don't ask me. My favorite one that I do get is, do you like Halloween?
Ah.
Because of the tattoos.
Oh, yes.
But I forget that they exist. And then I immediately go into gaslight mode, and I'm like, what's that? And then they're like, Halloween, you know, because of the bats. And I'm like, what is that? What are you talking about? And then it just like keeps going further.
Yes.
And you can see people. A guy actually did it to me when I was at badge pickup the day before yesterday. He was like, oh my God, Halloween. And I was like, what is that? What is it? Tell me what it is. I don't understand what's going on right now. And he started to, you could see visibly his face was
We
like,
don't
oh my
have
God, I've
Halloween.
really offended this
Halloween.
woman. Like, what's going on?
I'm from England. I don't know what that is.
And then I turned around and I was like, just kidding. And then walked away and just left him in his thoughts, just stewing
That's
in
awesome.
it for the whole, it was really good.
So your answer is any question that I can use to mess with the person. That's the question you want to get asked.
I love, do you know what? Do you know what? I've got my answer.
Okay.
I really love would you rather questions. I really, really love them.
Yeah.
They make my day. The weirder, the better. And
Okay.
no one ever asks me any.
Okay.
Ever.
I don't have any would you rather.
I've got some
in my
great
list.
ones. So, okay, I'll give you one.
Okay.
Would you rather have legs as long as your fingers or fingers as long as your legs? There's only one right answer here. There's only one right answer, and we both know what it is.
Okay, give me the rationale.
What?
What's the right answer and why?
Well, no, I can't show you the right answer. You have to get there on your own, okay? So, scenario, you have legs as long as your fingers,
Right.
or you have fingers.
As long as your legs.
Incredible. So long. You could grab the remote. I could grab those Clorox wipes from here.
Oh, but okay, so they're as long as my legs, but not necessarily as big around.
No, they're still finger size.
Yeah, so then that's, while being very weird looking, there's a lot more, like, you could
You have real fun with that.
you could tap someone on the shoulder from a long ways away.
I mean, I don't hate the idea of having finger-sized legs because it could be fun, and also like they've got really snazzy, like access chairs and things like that. Like it would be good. But I do really like the idea of being able to tap someone on the back from really far away. And
Yeah.
Well,
here-
it wasn't me and my giant fingers. So
How many knuckles are in these fingers?
This is a good question, and that's one of the. You see, these are the types of questions I want people to ask me. It's
here's
just
the
like,
thing.
let's get weird. you know?
Okay. We're supposed to be wrapping up, but
Okay.
no, it's okay. So imagine the TSA line, and you've got those long fingers.
On there.
You're going to need enough knuckles that you can curl them and wrap them up so that you can retract in when you don't want to be huge.
Well,
how are you going to ball up a fist and punch somebody?
you just wouldn't, would you?
Oh, you would slap people.
No, I don't raise my hands to anybody.
No, but
Why
if
are you
you
thinking
had-
about fighting people?
Well, I'm just
Are you okay?
No,
Do you
no,
wanna
if
talk
you
about it?
had to defend yourself and you couldn't make a fist,
No one's coming up on
but
me
the
with those creepy
rotational
fingers. I'm fine.
velocity of the end of your
You
fingers,
have to do it 5 working days in advance, otherwise you can't
yeah,
get
but
there.
it would be so much harder of a slap because of the speed you could get going.
Yeah. I don't know how many knuckles. I think it would be inappropriate to have more than 2. I do. I think that.
So then that's more of like a folding flat. All right, this has gotten weird, but I am going to have to use AI to make this photo for the slide for this episode.
I would love it if you could do that. And if you need to, I'll put my hand up right there.
There you go.
And then you can
Use
give me
that to do it.
finger. Look, actually, if I do it this way, you can actually cut it so I'm poking you in the back of the head.
That'll be
Yeah.
great. Okay, this is as far off the rails as this has ever gotten.
It would. You know what?
What?
The rails, they broke. We fell off the bridge when we're sailing down the river, and it's lovely.
Okay.
Was it? Come on, last question.
No,
wait,
second
you've
to
got
last-
2 questions. Sorry.
Second
Oh
to
my
last
God, you're
question
out
is
of
an
control.
easy one.
Okay.
If people want to find or get in contact with you, how would they do so?
Oh, we already told you that in the last one.
Yeah, but you say it again.
Oh.
You're in sales.
Yeah. And what? Do
Okay,
you
never
just
mind.
give out your email? It's
don't have
Rebecca.
to give out
Wade.
your-
It's REBECCA.WADE, like into water, at igloovision.com.
And you can use that email to pose would you rather questions and or ask about immersive learning
I would
spaces.
love that. You know who I do appreciate a message from? Robin. She makes my day, and she has
Yeah.
like really fun email footers. I'm always just like, yeah.
Yeah.
It works for me. I just, I love it when people just ask weird, we can talk tech, we can talk work all day, but isn't it so much more fun to have thought-provoking conversations?
Yes.
Like, another really, really good, oh no, I can't say that one. It's not safe for work, is it? But some of these get really weird
Well,
really
that's-
quickly.
yeah.
Here's a quick one. Would you
Okay.
rather cry ketchup or sweat mustard?
I think I'd rather cry ketchup.
Do you not cry a lot?
I
I
don't.
cry all the time.
Do you?
All the time.
Yeah.
I'm crying right now on the inside.
On the inside.
After this is over, I'll just just go for a little one.
Just the feeling of the yellow mustard sweat stains
What didn't
just
say
feels
which kind of
like.
mustard it was.
All right.
Could have been whole grain. Exfoliating. Shiny skin.
All right. This is it. I literally am going to have to cut you off.
What? Oh,
Okay.
all right.
Last question. Which is, and you're British, so maybe the tradition you don't know, but you got chat shows and stuff over there, just like everybody else. So, newscasters in the U.S., the official ones used to have like a phrase they would end their newscast with: "Good night and good luck," or something. So, what is your drop the mic sign off phrase?
Oh. So I sign on with howdy.
Mm-hmm.
I like to sign off with yeehaw, howdy do.
With the pointer finger.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the AVIT Amplifier. Join us again for next week's episode when we'll welcome a new guest who you'll want to hear from. We promise. Your host has been Ryan Gray. He's on the tweeters at Ryan_A_Gray, or find him on LinkedIn to connect. Please subscribe and give the show a rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. This show is brought to you by higheredav.com. The views expressed here are not necessarily those of our respective institutions, employers, or sponsors. Everyone hang in there, go easy, and we'll be back next week.